Announced on Twitter. We announced it.
Okay.
And it's on Star City. His article's up. So, it's funny though. You were talking about Magic Online, and it's just funny what people do online, like how they behave, as opposed to in real life. I mean, even this isn't such a big deal, but you know, I was just playing. I just got into Magic Online, and so I'm like in the new player room because I'm just like I don't even know how to play. I have like a stupid blue-white deck that I put together with like the free crap that they give you at the beginning, and so I'm just like, oh cool, I want to play in the new player room so I can figure out like the interaction, how to basically play Magic Online.
Right.
So I go island, go. He goes forest, go. I go island, go. He's like forest, go. I go island. He goes concede. I'm like, what was that? I played 3 islands. He was just like, and you just conceded? Why?
That's the key on Magic Online.
It's just such a goofy thing.
Okay, and so we're about to go into the finals here, and for those just joining us, welcome to the Star City Games Open Series here in San Jose. I'm Gavin Verhey. I'm joined here by Joey Pasco and Vidiato Wijaya, top 8 competitor of the legacy portion of this event. Standards is in the books. Adam Prozac is the champion, and now we are playing to see who is going to be the champion of the legacy portion. On the camera right now we have Gerry Thompson. Gerry is playing a really kind of cool version of Counterbalance. It's something people have seen before. It's got a few techie things in it. It's got some fire spouts. It's got some repeals. Just, you know, a couple of things to react. And it's also Gerry. He knows what he's doing. On your camera now, you've got Iain Bartholomei playing Goblins. Pretty standard list. He only has 3 Pile Drivers and 3 War Chiefs. I'm curious as to what the rationale on that is. But yeah, should be a good match. 2 really tight players. Gerry's obviously great, and Iain Bartholomei is also another excellent player.
So
and
Ian's on the play, it looks like. And,
Ian's on the play.
Has already led out with a Mog War Marshal on turn 2.
But no lackey this game.
No lackey. So turn 1, nothing. Yeah, just a land. Gerry goes turn 1 fetch land and passes the turn to Iain. Goes turn 2 Mog War Marshal, which obviously resolved because we have a Rashad eating a hat in play. And
Oh.
Thank you.
He didn't have a quick opening.
No, I mean, turn 2 Mog War Marshal is not the opening I'm sure Iain was hoping for here.
Yep. Did he mulligan?
Probably. I don't think he would just keep
Yeah.
turn 2 War Marshal, you know?
Right, exactly. Tarmogoyf. Oh.
So there's Warren Weirding, which is a pretty good play against the
If he has a
Tarmogoyf.
Force of Will, that's actually like +3/+3. Oh my god. Because that's a tribal card. It's actually,
wow.
There's actually
Yeah.
a +3/+3 for the Tarmogoyf.
Unbelievable.
Oh man. So there's that Tarmogoyf, and that is one big goyf.
It's still looking pretty good for him because like Iain has like a matron and a ringleader in his hand.
Right. And those tokens are going to be pretty good chump block fodder for that Tarmogoyf if it comes to that point.
Yep.
Yeah, how big's the Goyf now? We got land, instant, tribal sorcery or
Tribal sorcery.
So there's 4.
It's 4. Good old tribal sorcery. How convenient for Gerry
The
Thompson.
War Marshal's gone too, right? So that's creature, right?
Oh yeah, War Marshal's also gone. So yeah, we have a 5 power Tarmogoyf here. How about that? Oh man, there's Iain deep in the tank about what he's gonna do. Man, Goblins again. We saw a win last weekend. Will it repeat? Well, here comes the matron. See what Iain goes get. Gerry's with the matron.
Yeah, it's just like
Yeah, nice.
nice gray ogre. I'll just counter whatever it is you grab. Hopefully.
It's actually worse than a Grey Ogre. It's a 1/1.
Oh, that's right. Why did I think she was a 2/2? Oh God. Wow.
Yeah, I mean you like your advice, VD, was not to play with Grey Ogres in Legacy, but a Goblin Matron finds something not quite a Grey Ogre. A, it's a 1/1, and B, its ability is pretty strong. That
Oh,
goblin
yeah,
deck
she
can really.
grabs
It's
a
actually
Warren
the Stone
Weirding.
Cold
Not
box.
not
you
a
can
bad
tutor
idea.
for a sorcery. Like
Right, that is pretty cool. Being able to tutor for a Warren Weirding, which
how many Weirdings is it? Two.
Just two.
just two. So one's gone,
It's
the
almost
other
like
one's
he-
in his hand.
It's almost like at last minute cut the pile driver and the war chief for two weirdings, you know.
Right.
But I'm sure. I mean, Ian's a player who puts a lot of thought into his decisions. I'm sure that there's a very good reason why there's only 3 pile drivers and 3 war chiefs. So he chumps with Matron, and here comes Top on a fetch land.
I prefer the Dieter Litzy Goblin Matron
Right,
artwork.
the Urza Saga version.
Yeah, that's the classic version for me, at least. That's the one I always remember. You know, Dieter Litzy was the artist for the Spiderwick Chronicles like book series.
Weird. You know, I'd heard about something like that, but I hadn't like committed it to memory. But that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean that became like a pretty big franchise and a movie. I mean, no Harry Potter, but still.
I mean, a lot of great artists have gone on to bigger and better things. I mean, not necessarily better. I think magic art is huge.
Yeah.
Actually, what I know is like without, I mean, Wizards is one of the major reasons why fantasy art is so successful. I mean, having to go through all those pieces all the time. I mean, just gives the artist work constantly. But people like Kaja and Phil Foglio, you know, have been worked on a lot of other side projects too. It just shows you
So
where we're doing
what's in
artist
Iain's
cosplay.
gun? A ringleader?
Um,
I think that's a ringleader.
Looks like
I would bet on it. That's what they have out here. Another war marshal from Iain's gonna.
right, which he did get the Warren Weirding to resolve and get rid of the Tarmogoyf, get some tokens. Oh, wait a second, did he?
Is it a fire spell?
See, I wanna see something.
If that is, that's gonna be sweet for Gerry Thompson.
It doesn't even do anything though. If he fire spots now,
Yeah. I mean, he can't do it now. He's just got to sit on it. So he draws off his. Top.
yeah, that's a fire spot. Oh well, he has like a source of plowshare too, so.
Wait, I may be missing something. What happened with the Warren Weirding? Because I, for some reason, thought that
He cast it.
he cast it.
It gets rid of Tarmogoyf.
Yeah, so where's Jerry's tokens?
No, Gerry. It's only if it's a goblin.
It's
Oh,
only if
that's
it's a
right.
goblin.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's why
So
I'm.
you can target yourself and get 2/1 tokens.
Or just have
So
them
there.
sacrifice a creature.
It is an
Got it.
awkward removal spell for Chameleon Colossus, but it kind of works.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
You don't see a lot of those though, really.
No, not in Legacy. And Extended, I think.
Is that in your Giants
switch
deck?
for it. It was
Yeah.
in my Giants deck. Don't play Giants.
What is this Giants deck?
No, you don't want to know. So I tried out every tribal deck available in Extended, right? I went through all of them. And I tried out Giants, and it was so bad. But I was like, I promised myself, okay, I'll try out all of the tribal decks. Like, some of them worked. There were some possibilities there, and Giants is just unbelievably awful.
So I made this sideboard note, and it's pretty funny because like the decks that are on here for Legacy, like how to sideboard against Merfolk, how to sideboard against Elves, and how to sideboard against Goblins.
Sure.
They're all tribal decks.
Right.
Like, can't find it right now. So what just happened? You just got fire spotted.
Yep. Jerry's like, all right, enough is enough. Let's blow your board. So Ringleader finds a Pile Driver and War Chief, 2 wonderful
Pretty
goblins.
awesome goblins, yeah.
I mean, when you only hit 2 on a Ringleader, and those are the ones you see, you're still usually pretty happy about it.
So Jerry's saving his source of plowshare, right?
For the
For the
pile
war
driver or the war.
War Chief or a pile driver. Oh, Tarmogoyf, fucking video.
Yeah. That's gonna be I mean, he had a big fat Tarmogoyf a couple minutes ago. He's just gonna play another
What's the
one.
life total at?
Looks like it's a 9 to 15. Yeah.
Jerry's at 9 and Ian's at 15.
Yeah.
So Jerry's got to make sure he doesn't die here. That's 3 points on the other side of the board between the Goblin token and the Goblin Ringleader. Plus, you know that Pile Driver and War Chief is in Ian's hand. You can draw both of those next turn plus us any other goblins you might have.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like it's pretty good for Iain here. Alright, so he draws.
I like
Wow,
how you switch
yeah.
the camera. Like,
look at his eyes. Is he trying to stay awake? Like what?
Rashad is in hysterics over here.
I mean, he just looked really excited. I don't know.
Wow.
Rashad.
Rashad's trying to mimic Ian's
Rashad
play
is
right
mimicking
here.
Ian.
You would have to see it to believe it.
Unfortunately, we do
He
not
always
have a
does that,
camera
though.
on Rashad.
So VD, he always does that apparently. That's just his thing.
yeah.
It just looked like he was like, can't believe I'm awake.
And there's Gerry. No crazy eye rolls over there. Just a little bit of head scratching as he tries to figure out how he's going to pull out of this mess. I mean, he has a Tarmogoyf on the battlefield, but that War Chief and Pile Driver are really going to serve and start being threatening for Iain.
What did he actually draw that turn?
Looks like he's got an Incinerator.
A matron, right?
Maybe, or maybe that's a Pile Driver. Not sure. I mean, Matron is just anything, so he just has everything right now.
Rashad is so happy he just switched the camera again. You did it on purpose, right?
You can't see this, but Rashad looks as guilty as a kid with his hand in the cookie jar.
It's a Goblin War Chief.
Alright, so here comes War Chief. Alright, here comes War Chief.
War Chief and then a Pile Driver.
And here comes Pile Driver.
This was one of the most, like, when it was in Standard, you'd go War Chief, you'd 4 mana, you're like War Chief, Pile Driver.
Gerry's fine. He's gonna take 3 damage this turn. He's gonna, like, block the War Chief and swords the Pile Driver. I think that's what's gonna happen.
Oh, there's a War Marshal too.
That's all.
So it's gonna maybe take a little more. Take some 6.
It's
probably.
so disgusting to see, like, the War Chief, and then it's like, and I'll drop some more goblins. Goblin, like, all over the place.
Right. I mean, giving all
He
the
needs
haste
another
is so
fire
strong.
spout.
Yeah, I mean, Gerry could really use another fire spout here. The shuffle maybe dig him 2.
How many fire spots?
3.
3?
I believe. Yep, 3 fire spouts with the 4th from the sideboard. Gerry in the tank, waiting for Iain to make his play. I think he's just got to push them all in here, right?
Are we gonna cover like the draft challenge finals?
This will likely be it.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's possible we might do something else, but I don't think we've been covering the draft channels finals. Draft challenge finals. Camera back to Gerry here. He's rocking a pretty good look for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We complimented him on his style before.
Yeah.
The Star City shirt with the Express track jacket.
So Gavin,
Yes.
you ever got that Star City Games shirt or not?
Nope.
You didn't get a Star City shirt? I have a Star City shirt.
It's I asked one to be sent to me, and I don't know, it just never came. So
We picked ours up at Nationals.
weird. It's cool.
Just let him know. Get it the next.
I have this sweet SCG Live.
SCG
shirt
Live,
now,
yeah, absolutely.
So I know what I'm gonna be rocking everywhere. Go to the grocery store and just wear my
Hold
SCG
on.
Live.
Get my SCG Live shirt. All right, so
Spell Snare, Tarmogoyf, Flight of Strand.
All right, so I mean that Tarmogoyf is pretty good. So Iain chose not to swing last turn.
which is surprising. He's got many.
Oh no, War Chief got plowed.
He sorts the Plowshare, the War Chief, so he can't swing.
Oh, okay.
So he did choose not to swing, but for good reason.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's gonna
because
deal
they
one
had
damage.
summoning sickness and except for.
Less than that. He's gonna just get blocked with his
Yeah.
Goblin or
Yeah.
Ringleader.
No.
So 1 damage from one of the tokens.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So Gerry's doing some tapping. Oh. And
Wasn't there a fire spot?
he just picks up all of his cards.
What a beating.
Well, yeah, it was another fire spout. Apparently.
So what's like the worst thing? Like, this one shot's gonna change that.
All right, so that's Matron. Rashad once again looking very guilty. So it's that a Matron, and what was the other card in his hand?
I didn't catch his hand.
Nice.
His water bottles are from killing our hands. Always.
Killing Gavin's hand. Yeah, well, Gavin just hands them to me now.
I've got soft hands.
Oh, this one. Oh, wait.
So yeah, there's a Tarmogoyf facing down. Goblin Lackey and a Rashad Miller. That Lackey's obviously very good on turn 1, but at this point in the game, it's a little more than a 1/1.
Yeah,
And
and I think
Gerry's
there's.
like, all right, time to bring it.
Yeah.
Here comes Tarmogoyf.
I think Iain's only got one card in hand, right?
Yep.
Is it possibly a matron? Do you think?
I believe it's still that Matron we saw.
So I mean, and he's just plays another Tarmogoyf.
It's Incinerator, not Matron.
Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. But he only had what 2 goblins in play, so
He just cycled it.
He just cycled it, and
Just
just nothing.
Cycled it, literally just cycled. So Ian's trying to figure out how to get out of this one. It's starting to look pretty grim for him. Board state looked decent for him at one point, but
Pyroclasm, or not Pyroclasm, Fire Spout.
yeah, 2 fire spouts and a swords later, and we're here. Oh, port's down to land. Oh wow.
Hey, look, another fire spot. How convenient.
I think that's game, right?
I mean, it has to be.
Yep.
Did he just show him?
The cards.
Just like, I have another Fire Spout. Do you think that you can, that he can win through it? Because we can keep going if you want.
So Gerry takes a quick game 1. Gerry is 1 game away from being the Legacy champion for the Star City Games Open Series here.
I got to tell you this, Gavin. Still had these on Twitter. Said every time Gavin said someone is in a good position today, they lose. And you were saying how Iain was in a good position a couple minutes ago, which is when that tweet came in.
Yeah,
after you said that, and then they lost.
I mean, it shows you how back and
called
forth
it.
Legacy can be. You can be in a great position, and if you play tightly, you can really just get right back in the game. I mean, we've seen it happen over and over again today, where someone will have like a Jace or counterbalance top, and they'll just be like, oh well, if they find a swords, they'll win. But the other player just plays really well. Although I disagree with still had these. I believe in some of the matches we watched with Alex, where he had a triple curse catcher.
Yeah.
Or we were playing VD, yes. Where you engineering explosives away, triple curse catcher, left him with an island. You had Jace,
Right.
top counterbalance,
The curse scroll is key.
curse scroll.
Card suite.
That was more than enough.
There's
But,
Glenn back there doing some photo coverage. Yeah, I don't
Looking
know.
stylish.
Yeah, with his SCG Live T-shirt, or not T-shirt, dress shirt. So there's Gerry T.
There's
look,
man
and there's
himself.
Glenn again.
Hey, there's Glenn again, trying to get in all
He
the
just,
shots.
he's just like, I want to be on camera too. So
Right.
for those of you just joining us, I'm Joey Pasco here with Gavin Verhey and top 8 competitor Vidi. I keep
Vidi's good.
just Vidi's good. Okay,
Yeah.
Vidi who just lost to Gerry T in the quarterfinals in a countertop mirror match. We're in San Jose at the Star City Games San Jose Open Series. This is the Legacy portion. In fact, this is the Legacy Finals right now between Gerry Thompson and Iain Bartholomei. Gerry playing countertop, Iain playing goblins. Goblins making consecutive appearances in Legacy Open Series. We've had an exciting game 1 where it looked like Iain was in pretty good shape. Reestablished board position through a first fire spout, and the second fire spout was kind of enough to put Iain on the back foot.
The second fire spot broke.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
the third one was just a slap. in the
Right.
face.
Well,
So,
the third one was just I have a third one now. At this point, he
right.
didn't need to play the third one.
So how are they gonna sideboard?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I
mean,
think-
Tarmogoyf was a major player in that matchup as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Or in that game.
I think
So-
Gerry's gonna take up like 2 vanilla clicks. Maybe spell snares.
I mean, the snares do hit pile driver, which is kind of
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought spell snare's pretty good.
But if you have fire spot, it doesn't matter,
That's
right?
true.
Like,
So I mean, he's going to bring in Fire Spout and bring in the 2 blue elemental blasts.
Right.
And are we going to see Sora of Temptation here, or is that
No.
just too slow?
I don't think.
It
that's
may
the
be
case.
too slow.
So just 3 cards, and he's probably going to cut the 2 clicks.
Spell Pierce doesn't. Well, I don't
Maybe
know. Not Spell
repeal.
Pierce. Never mind.
On the draw, you can't hit a lackey or
2
anything,
clicks
right?
and a repeal. That sounds about right. Yeah.
Something like that. And his opponent.
Oh, I think he's gonna bring in needles too. For the vial
Oh, right.
Yeah, Needle for Vial.
and like Siege Gang Commander.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe brings in the needles.
So
picks
5
up the rest
cards.
of the repeals. Maybe a spell snare. Keep 1 in
1,
for
2,
a
3,
spicy value. And over on Ian's side, I mean, I think we might see Pyroblast potentially. And Perish maybe to take care of some of those.
Pesky
Tarmogoyfs.
Tarmogoyfs, yeah.
Yeah, those Tarmogoyfs are big. I mean, not only do they get in for a lot of damage and switch the game from being, defense to
What do you
aggro,
think?
but they block.
What do you think of the Sting Scourger?
I think it's interesting. It's a good target, but I think against Gerry, Warren of Weirding is usually going to be the same thing,
Yep.
except you don't have to pay echo on it.
If he has extra War on Weirding in the sideboard, would be
Yeah, I'd probably bring it in if it was a Warren of Weirding.
it's
Yeah.
probably better than the Stings. No,
Well, the Scourger's important, I guess. So
for
you,
like reanimators there, like
right, so you can bounce
because you
things,
can vial it in even
Right.
if they have Iona in play.
Right, exactly. You can just put it on 2, and they'll, do whatever, and they'll just put it on the battlefield.
All right. 7 cards. Did I see a fire spout?
All right, so Gerry's got a counterbalance, a Tarmogoyf. Is that his top too? Wow. Things looking up for Gerry too. But I probably shouldn't say that, apparently.
They both mulligan.
Alright, so mulligan time. Looking classy.
Like, Gerry had to mulligan at hand because he has no way to stop Vile or Lackey on turn 1.
Right, I mean, you have to be so careful because if you just go turn 1 Vile or Lackey, he can totally demolish you. I mean, you played counterbalance today and you said yourself about how important Vile is.
Yeah.
So yeah, so these guys are going into game 2. Gerry took the first game. Looks like a pair of mulligans are entering game 2. Iain, no doubt, looking for Aether Vial or Goblin Lackey.
He knows that he's going to kill it with that deck.
What are we gonna find? What are we gonna find?
He's the master of marble brews.
So it looks like Gerry's hand. I don't see very many lands. I think he's gonna have to ship that.
All right, just an update for you guys on the top 2 competitors left in the draft open.
Oh, wow.
Right now we have Kelvin Young and Scott Watson. So.
And when VD took a step out for a second, but one of those competitors is actually VD's friend.
Oh,
so
cool.
That's pretty cool. VD's rooting for someone in the finals of the draft open.
Right
and
on.
These are just such great events. I mean, not only do we have the portions that we're covering on here, which are the standard portion and the legacy portion, but we have 2 full draft opens on Sunday. You can come check out and play in. Don't have a legacy deck? Doesn't matter. Come and draft. I mean, that's what people seem to want, is just the drafting, right? Like, a lot of people are always like, I wish there were more draft tournaments. I don't want to play sealed. You can come to these events. You know?
Yeah, so many things to do. There's just so much going on.
You know?
So,
yeah, we'll see what happens.
this has been such a fun weekend.
This has been a lot of
What's
lot
going
of
on?
fun.
Double mulligan for both?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, they're mulliganing down to 6 cards, I believe.
No,
Did they mulligan again?
I think so.
I was too busy talking about how awesome the draft opens were.
Yeah.
Really?
The whole weekend. It's just fantastic. It's like I've had a blast from, the minute it all started. Yesterday morning, Saturday morning, starting off with the standard,
Yeah.
going all the way through, yesterday to this morning. I was excited to come in this morning and watch the top 4.
Yeah, let's make sure to tweet about the finals of the draft open and let people know like who's there.
Right on.
I mean, these events are just great. There's just so many things you can be doing. It's a lot of fun.
You're gonna have plenty of lands.
There's the top. And I think I saw more lands in Gerry's hand. It's difficult to tell. I'm not quite sure what the hands are. We try and do the best we can. So Ian's got a port, but still no Lackey.
It's a slow start for a Goblin deck to
Yeah.
not have anything on turn 1 or looks like turn 2.
Yeah, no Lackey, no Aether Vial. And I mean, those mulligans are really putting these guys down.
Right, this is exactly the opposite of what we saw from him in his earlier match, where it was
Yeah.
like Lackey.
It's semifinals match, just like it was just.
He was a
over.
Goblin deck. I mean,
Yeah.
he was a Goblin deck in the semifinals,
And now just
but
like
in the
some
finals,
slow
he's
red
kind of like,
control deck.
yeah, I'm a red aggro deck that sometimes plays a turn 2 play. Sometimes it's like I don't know.
Yeah.
Then again, I mean, we did see him in a pretty good position last game, but that's why
Are those 2 ports?
that's why you don't overextend into Fire Spout. He's thinking, I can't believe I overextended into Fire Spout twice.
Oh, I mean, I think he had to.
Yeah,
especially
I know.
The second time.
That's
He really
how
just
you
didn't
do
have
it.
A lot of choice. And the first time, I mean, some of us were saying maybe it was a premature, fire spout, but Gerry thought about it and he ended up fire spouting there, taking away all those tokens and preserving his life total, which ended up being pretty important.
Yeah. So there's
Maitland comes down.
Yeah.
Here comes Volcanic Island.
Gerry says, I think I may have something to say about that.
Might it be a counterspell?
Yeah, it might be. But first,
maybe just top it.
let's see what's happening on top of my
I saw a
library.
fire spell. It's over.
VD calls it. Fire spout, that's game. I don't know if Iain can't even. I mean, if Iain can only apply as much pressure as a goblin matron applies.
He's gonna get a ringleader for sure.
Yeah, but I mean.
Yep, here comes
So there's the ringleader.
Yep.
And Gerry doesn't necessarily even want to counter the matron here because you could just counter the ringleader next
Exactly.
and force him to tap all 4 of his lands.
Right, that's what I was thinking.
Does he
Like,
have
go
fire
ahead
spells?
and search for something.
Yeah, he's got counterspell in his hand, also force of will access.
Oh, really?
Top. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Matron is certainly not a
Yeah,
scary.
he's gonna tap out for it and bang, counterspell.
Yeah. Matron not very scary on its own.
Yes. Great Ogre's not great in Legacy. 1/1's even worse.
That's right.
18 more turns.
Probably less with the rate Gerry's cracking his lance.
So,
Fire spout, force of will, scalding turn.
fetch land, yeah.
Pick up that fire spout. And
Another matron?
I mean, there's the pyroblast, but
And he goes
there's
with
another ringleader.
another
And
ringleader.
Gerry's gonna just be like, nope.
Let's see. I will crack a fetch land.
And here comes counterspell number 2.
Right. The Ice Age counterspell, I think.
Yep, the classic. That's the
That
Alistair's
is-
favorite. Right, pyroblast.
Ooh, a pyroblast. See how that?
He still has a force up there, right?
That's spicy.
It was on top of his library. I don't think he took it.
Oh,
He
no.
took fire spout instead.
Oh no.
No, he cracks a fetch. Doing something here.
I think he's trying to dig with his.
Right, dig with his top. He might have force of will in his hand and need to find a blue card or something. I'm not totally certain. Gerry is keeping his cards away from the camera.
It's all right.
Oh, blue elemental blast.
Blue elemental blast.
That's a good one too.
That's a nice, nice foil to the red elemental blast.
The classic battle happening since Alpha. Blue elemental blast, and then
Attack for 1.
red elemental blast.
In with the matron. Matron beat down.
Yep.
Matron fetch land beat down. Basically, Gerry down to 14
Oh,
from
it looks at his
2
top.
swings from matron.
There's a needle fire spout. Was that a spell snare we saw?
I do definitely see the needle.
Yeah, needle
Well,
fire
we see
spout.
Needle fire spot
I think
and
it's spell snare.
Yeah, it looks like it could be spell snare. Right on top. He leaves that on
Leaving the
top.
snare on top.
Oh no,
it's
it was counterbalance. Okay.
And he just plays it off the top of his deck, not going to conceal anything. And this is looking a little rough for Iain and Bartholomei here.
We're getting cheers of "Go Gerry Go"
Go, Gerry, go.
on Twitter.
Gerry.
it's 1-1-3.
Well, Gerry's a fan favorite, and it's easy to see why. He's a very good player.
Yeah,
He's
he
got
really-
a great personality. Very very willing to come and hang out in the booth and comment on what's going on for him. And
Yeah, and he's been in and out of the booth all weekend, and his
Yeah.
commentary's been great. He has so many great comments on the game, and the mind is just excellent that he has going
Absolutely.
behind him. He's played the format, he knows what he's doing. Just awesome.
one of the nicest guys.
Yeah,
Him and
definitely.
Kibler was in here quite a bit this weekend. Of course, Patrick as well. All the people that joined us in the booth this weekend. It was great. Except for Vidi.
Yeah.
He's just terrible.
Agreed.
Present company excluded.
Oh man.
So, all right.
And all right, well,
Gerry
two
did
lands
crack
on
a pyro. I mean, I keep calling it pyroclasm. I don't know why. He cracked a fire spout. So there's no matron. It's wow. Counterbalance top, and the goblin deck has no non-land permanents. I don't know how many
mean-
cards. It looks like one card in Ian's hand right now. I mean, it better be a pretty good card.
So the Rishon ports take down several of Gerry's lands, limiting his options. And it's kind of tricky at this point because he has to keep counterbalance top mana up. But those Rishon ports really limit him because
Does he have 3 ports in play or just 2?
that's 3 ports.
3 ports.
Yeah. So
Okay, so that makes something of a difference. It's not just regular old lands, you know.
right, because if he goes to tap the is that port number 4?
I think
I
it
think
is.
it's a wasteland.
Oh, yeah.
No, I
don't
think
know. I think it looks like a port.
number
Yeah,
4.
yeah, that's actually port number 4.
So he's got
Wow.
all 4 ports. Pretty soon he can just start tapping down all of Gerry's lands. He can hit 3 of them right here. Gerry knows he needs to find more lands to stay alive.
Right,
Or not stay alive, but just make sure he can actually do things, you know?
So,
So for those of you just joining us, we're here in the finals of the Star City Games Open Series. I'm Gavin Verhey here with Joey Pasco and Vidiano Wijaya, top 8 competitor. This is the Star City Games Open, and this is the finals of the San Jose Legacy portion. We saw Adam Prozac take down the standard portion earlier today, and now we're here going to see who is the champion this time around. The board state is pretty clear. There's a top, a counterbalance, and a pithing needle on Gerry's side of the board, and on Ian's side of the board playing goblins. He just cast the Ringleader, which is strong, and he's got all 4 Rishton ports, which can really start limiting Gerry's mana. Looks like he found a Warren Weirding and Mog War Marshal off of those. What did that Pithing Needle name? Was that CGN Commander or Port? That makes sense.
yeah.
All right. So now, here's a Goblin Lackey. And Gerry's thinking about what he wants to do. Do you want to flip the top? Is it a trap? And the top gets flipped, countering that Lackey.
There's
Mog War Marshal enters the battlefield. And he's got a hand of top Scalding Tarn Fire Spout. Oh, and he's going to jam the spout here, leaving 1 token on the battlefield. And those ports can't be used. Gerry's got active top counterbalance.
And I believe that's the second fire spout we've seen now
Yep.
from Gerry of his 3.
Of his 4 after
Oh,
sideboarding.
that's right, 4 after sideboarding, right?
Yep. And so, wow. And so we know there's a Warren Weirding in Ian's hand, and the other hand looks like a mountain. So there he is. He's going to Warren Weirding himself, getting a Goblin token. Gerry's like, all right, well, do I even want to crack a fetch land for this? Like, nope. He just lets it resolve. He's got his swords on top. Counterbalance. Giving some options. That is a clock, though. 5-turn clock on Gerry. He needs to find a Tarmogoyf and fast. Now, Ian had to use that Warren Weirding, so he can no longer take care of that. Wow. Oh, here we go. This is so exciting. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just what we've seen all day, the kind of back and forth action that Legacy is made of.
I'm really glad we featured Counterbalance so much in this tournament today, because here it is in the finals. I mean, it's obviously it's here for a reason, and I think even though some people didn't want to see a mirror match, I think it's a deck that it's really not only entertaining to watch, but I mean you learn a lot about the myriad decisions that happen in this deck.
Right, it really shows you how complicated it is, and I'm glad that we've watched it several times, so everyone out there really has an idea of what's been going on.
Exactly.
It's quite a complicated deck. There are a lot of plays that people like Gerry have pulled out and LC have pulled out that a lot of people might just not consider. And even in this position, Ian still just with a gigantic smile on his face.
Yeah. Hey, you're in the finals of an event of this, of this size. I mean, it's got to be fun. Just, enjoy it.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Iain draws a card. Serves Vin for 2. Gonna drop Gerry's life down to 6. Nope, decides to swords a 1/1 Goblin token. That's what this has come to.
Yeah.
But Gerry knows. He's like, some people might value that sword's too high, and Gerry knows. Nope, like I just gotta preserve my life so it'll find a Tarmogoyf, and I'll be okay.
Yeah. Tarmogoyf will be key here.
And looks like Force and Brainstorm on top. Alright, just gonna top again. Scalding Tarn, Force of Will. Just passes back. Gonna take another hit from that 1/1 token. And
Yeah.
the longer this goes without finding Tarmogoyf, I'd say the more it favors Iain, just because although there is top counterbalance out, Gerry doesn't have a good answer to cards like Goblin Ringleader or Siege Gang Commander, you know? They
Yeah.
cost 4 and 5 and
Yeah, counterbalance is not such a hot, hot card to have against. When you don't have that many in your deck that match that casting cost. I mean, was it a Jace?
I mean, there's a lot of threatening cards out there, obviously, that cost 1, 2, 3. But
Right.
there are some big threats at the higher mana costs. There's a Pile Driver that absolutely must be countered.
Right. Basically, he's got to have Force
And
of
he-
Will on the top.
Yep,
But
and he draws that Force. And
Speaking of Force
sure
of
that
Will,
Pile
yeah.
Driver. Protection from blue still allows it to be countered.
yeah. Unlike that troll that we were looking at a little earlier from Mirrodin Besieged.
It's true. That troll looks to be very powerful. So, ooh, he did bring in Soar.
Oh,
Interesting.
that is interesting. We were thinking it might be too slow, but I guess yeah. Why
mean,
not? Why not steal a goblin?
I mean, Gerry maybe he knew it was going to be an attrition war, and that's kind of what it's turned out to be. I mean, looks like he could take that a 1/1 token potentially.
We did see the Sower against what was it, an Affinity deck? I think didn't he steal a Frogmite?
Oh, it was just awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
Soar against any deck with slow on removal is great, and Iain still has in his Warren Weirdings, but we're not sure about Gem Palm Incinerator. We're not sure what Iain brought in. It didn't look like there was a ton of options. But
So he casts the Sower and steals the token.
yep, gets rid of the clock.
Right on.
And Gerry knows he has to start applying pressure. It's just like we saw with Kibler in the Standard Open. He was like, you have to be, you can't always hold your cards back. You have to just go aggressive sometimes.
Right. So this time the Pile Driver resolves.
Oh, that's an issue.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be topping. See if we can find a Swords or something similar. Uh-oh. 3 lands. That Scalding Tarn is definitely getting cracked here. Yep. So, Scalding Tarn goes away. he just shows Iain the 3 lands on top of his library. And Gerry drops down to a precarious 5 life.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
we'll see if it's enough.
Keep in mind that Pile Driver doesn't get any bonuses when it's by itself.
It's true. It's just a 1/2. Oh, the protection from blue on creatures is weirdly enough relevant enough for blocking with that Sower.
Absolutely, but I mean it's not as scary as Goblin Pile Driver can be.
The problem, of course, is a lot of goblins have haste, so you don't want, one Ringleader later, and there's an issue. And I think that's a repeal on top of Gerry's library. Yet another card. Not so good against the Goblin Pile Driver with its protection from blue.
Yeah. He really needs a Tarmogoyf here. Have we seen one yet? I don't think we've seen one
I don't
at
think
all.
we've seen a Goyf this game. He's been digging so hard, too. Just fetch, fetch. Look at my top 3 every single time. And just haven't been any.
He does have a chump blocker if he wants to.
Yeah, serve with the Sower.
Yeah. I mean, it's not going to be able to block, so. At least it's not going to be able to block the Pile Driver anyway.
I mean, you might just take the 1 here also.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he wants to jump block. Looks like, is that a Matron?
Yeah, it is a
that's
Matron.
a Matron. That's really, really bad for Gerry here. He's going to go find probably Siege Gang Commander or potentially Goblin War Chief. I haven't done the math, but that can be a big problem for Gerry. Let's see what he ends up getting. Shuffled some cards to the front of the library. Yeah, it looks like Siege Gang Commander's at the front right now, but I'm sure he's considering his other options. Siege Gang is definitely tempting because he could just. So what he gets, he just gets Siege Gang, and if he untaps with the Siege Gang, he's got enough mana to just gun Gerry out. Just tap 6 lands, sacrifice 3 goblins. That's gonna be it. So Gerry is running low on answers. This game's gone long, but he just has not found one of those crucial Tarmogoyfs to turn the game around.
Right, so he's looks like he's considering the chump block. He doesn't really want to go to 4. Yeah, I mean, when a siege gang
And now Ian's thinking,
is potentially
like, what does Gerry have? Should I siege gang? Should I not siege gang?
right.
Because if he
Yeah,
has fire spout. Because the thing is, next turn he can tap and play the siege gang and then have enough mana to fling 2 goblins at Gerry.
right. That's what I'm thinking. You know, that's why Gerry doesn't want to go to 4. Because that's
Exactly.
lethal. That puts those goblins at
Yep, and
at lethal.
he
So.
just passes the turn. Another great play by Iain. I don't think a lot of players would have seen that. They would have just jammed that siege gang onto the battlefield. But here, Ian's like, no, no, no. I'll wait a turn. And if you draw a counterspell, you draw a counterspell. But nope, that's a repeal.
So I s-
Now, he can repeal the Pithy Needle and play it on Siege Gang Commander, but I don't think that's going to be enough. Because those ports are going to be a huge issue.
yeah, he's what is he got? 8 lands and 4. There's 4 ports on the other side.
Yeah. I mean, he does have a fetch land, so he can sacrifice it and go find something. But the issue is, of course,
Him going to 4 and
he
then
goes
not
to 4, and then the Siege Gang will just automatically kill him with it
right,
the battlefield.
unless he repeals the needle and plays it on siege gang.
Right. But he doesn't want to afford to lose his top here either, so...
Right.
Gerry's deep in the tank trying to figure out how he's going to salvage this game. I have the feeling we're going to see a pretty good play here in a second. Let's see what happens.
So he does go to 4. Cracks the
Cracks
Misty Rainforest.
That's just a rainforest. He's like, all right, got to find the right card to win this game.
Gonna look through. Where are my timer glyphs? No, he doesn't actually do that.
They've been very good about showing up recently.
Yeah, I mean they've been around a lot, but not in this game.
Yeah, not in this game, but in the rest of it, we've seen a lot of them.
We didn't see him in Gerry's last match. I think when he was playing VD actually, he won the first game on the back of Tarmogoyf, but game 2 was on the back of Jason. There was no Tarmogoyf, I don't think. So I guess they those Tarmogoyfs seem to like to take a break during game 2, maybe, of Gerry's matches occasionally. So
Yeah.
at least in those cases they have. So he did fetch. Looks like he got
He had Goyf, Swords
different.
land.
Yeah, different look at the top of his deck.
Yeah, Gerry quickly passes back, and I think he's ready for Iain to slam the hammer. It's just a matter of if Iain is playing scared. Oh, here comes 5, and here comes Siege Gang Commander. And Gerry just packs his cards
Yeah.
up. He knows that's it. And impressive play by Iain. Like, it looked like he was so far behind so many times. He had no creatures. You know, things were not
Yeah.
going well. He had to warn Weirding himself just to double his number of Goblin tokens.
Right.
And it was a scrappy play, but Gerry just didn't find an answer, and that's what we're talking about, staying in the match the whole way. We've talked about it with Shape, and we saw it with Alex playing some matches yesterday. It's just so crucial.
Yeah, and it's interesting how those ports kind of affected things early on. You know,
Right.
to the point where he had to needle them.
Right. I mean, in the format this far back, you could play with all of the great lands from Magic's history. So you can be like, play my mana denying port. So even if I don't draw spells or I get fire spouted or whatever happens, you can just tap down your opponent's permanents and
Right.
buy a little bit of time to get yourself back in the game. So the player's doing a little bit of switch up sideboarding. Looks like Gerry's bringing some Jaces back in. Looks like he cut a counterbalance and a sower. Sower, not so impressive. So this is it. Game 3 for all
Yeah.
the marbles.
It all comes down to this, and from what I understand, there was no split in this top 4.
Right? I mean, this is pretty exciting for everyone who's just watching. I'm Gavin Verhey here with Yo MTG Tap's host, Joey Pasco. We're bringing you live coverage of the Star City Games Open Series here in San Jose. These guys are going into Game 3. This is the finals of the Legacy portion. Gerry's going to be on the play of this game. Gerry, of course, playing a counterbalance deck. He's done great work with it so far. He and Luis worked on this build. They ended up arriving at slightly different conclusions, but they're still both pretty similar. Luis did great in this tournament. Gerry has also just, obviously he's in the finals, he's done a good job.
Yeah.
On the right side of your screen, you'll see Iain. And Ian's a great player, a lesser known name, but definitely a threat from around here. And Ian's playing Goblins. It's a deck that's treated him well, and he knows how to play it. He's shown some really good play in this top 8, being scrappy to pull out some games. And this Game 3, I think, is going to be one to watch.
Yeah, Goblins is a deck that's obviously proven itself over the course of Magic history. When back in when it was in Standard and Block, back in Onslaught Block, and that era of Standard, it was a strong deck then. It was a kind of an oppressive deck back then, and then it was pretty dominant in Extended. Now it's showing that it is still a force in Legacy, and we saw it last week with the Goblins winning. It was a Goblins versus Merfolk matchup in the finals last week in Kansas City, and Goblins pulled it out. So here we are with Goblins again.
What's up? Yep. Alex Burton-Cheney off the sidelines telling us Goblins is a good deck. So
Yeah.
as opposed to last game where there were a bunch of mulligans, this game both players keep their 7, and Iain finally shows us the dreaded card, turn 1 Aether Vial. We haven't seen this card out of him in any of the top 8s or any of his matches so far in the top 8, and it's going to be a big problem.
There's Tarmogoyf.
Gerry goes on the aggressive with the Tarmogoyf.
Although that is probably the best opening play we've seen from Iain in this match.
Yeah, I mean, Ian's draws have just been awful. He's had to go on Mog War Marshal both games. I think it was even turn 3 War Marshal in the last game.
Yeah, I think it may have been.
Yeah, and this game we're finally getting some action. And that Aether Vial is going to be a huge issue. That is the defining card of Goblins alongside Goblin Lackey. Those two cards allow the deck to be so powerful. Gerry's got a pretty good hand, but with the Vial active and Iain also keeping 7, it's going to be a close one. And what do you think we're going to see from Iain this turn?
I don't know. Another Mog War Marshal? He loves that.
He does love the War Marshal, but the Vial's on 1.
Yeah.
So he'll be able to put something in. Of course, you could also see Warren Weirding taking out that Tarmogoyf.
Yeah.
Or in the first game, like we saw, Force of Will took a turn 2 Warren Weirding and added travel to the graveyard, a card type you don't see very often,
Right.
pumping Tarmogoyfs, especially
Yeah, it was-
in Legacy.
As VD was saying, it was almost like a +3/+3. I mean, because the Tarmogoyf did not have instant and tribal sorcery, and none of those were in the graveyard. So
And it looked for a second there like he was going to play. Was that a Pile Driver? I think I saw old card frame. Nope, he
there-
eventually decides on Mog War Marshal.
what did I do? I called it. What did I say?
Mog War Marshal has been a good buddy for Iain this match. It's given him a couple tokens after Fire Spout. That's done some good work for him.
He just can't resist the allure of Rashad.
Yeah, I mean, and who can really?
Not
Those
not many.
those tokens are great. So it looks like double swords. And is that a Fire Spout? Yeah, double swords Fire Spout in Gerry's hand. So he's just going to let the War Marshal die. Did not use Aether Vial on Gerry's end step, so he didn't have a 1-drop Goblin to put on. See, I see Gem Palm Incinerator over on Gerry's side of the board. Or on rather,
Yeah,
Iain's
on
side of the
Iain's
board
side, yeah.
in his hand.
Yeah. Wow, how did Gerry get a Gem Palm Incinerator?
Took out of his opponent's deck and trying to get the game, double game loss.
Yeah, saw that happen with Kibler, right?
Yeah. Yeah, round
the double
1
game
yesterday.
loss.
Gilbert double game loss his opponent after he stole a Spreading Seas accidentally.
Right, not necessarily. It was both of them with a game loss,
Right.
but since Kibler had game 1 and his opponent, both of them getting a game loss, that gave Kibler the match win.
So we see another Aether Vial from Iain, but if he doesn't have a 1-drop, it seems like that other Aether Vial may rotate through a lot of the cards that Iain wants to get into play. And Gerry's thinking right now about what's my plan, what am I going to do, and he decides to just sit on Tarmogoyf. Let's see what Iain is going to do here. Let's make him act first. So
there he
gonna
goes.
Tap the Vial, and here comes another Mog War
War
Marshal. Think he's going to echo this one? All right, so that's 4. Tarmogoyf is a 2/3 right now. So Gerry has swords in his hand. If he swords away one of the creatures, that'll allow Tarmogoyf to survive because Tarmogoyf will go up to a 3/4 from an instant entering the graveyard.
Right.
And then a creature will go away, making Gem Palm Incinerator go for 1 less. It checks on resolution.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see 2 fetches in Gerry's graveyard, and under that Gem Palm Incinerator, I'm not sure there. I think is it Isn't there a Mog War Marshal in the graveyard over there?
Yeah, there's Mog War Marshal in the graveyard, but he needs to
So it's a
add
2/3.
instant.
Is that, or is it a?
Yeah, it's
It's
a
a
2/3
2/3
right
right
now, but
now.
he needs to add the instant to make it a 3/4.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then get rid of a creature. And Mog War Marshal is a graveyard trigger, I believe. So if he swords the War Marshal, it also takes a token out of Iain.
Right. So he's doing exactly. Looks to me that he's doing exactly what you suggested.
Yep. And so he's going to draw a card off that Gem Palm Incinerator.
Right. So the Tarmogoyf lives and grows in the process.
What doesn't kill him makes him stronger.
Yeah. In this case, absolutely. He needed the help of the swords to plowshares, but.
So recruits a dice for that Aether Vial. Let's see what we got over here. Is that so we've got a Ward and Weirding here.
And there it is.
There's the Weirding for the
See it.
Tarmogoyf to start getting in the beats. And does Gerry have an answer to that? Doesn't look like it.
No.
Nope, Tarmogoyf
Wow.
dies. All that work to protect that Tarmogoyf, and the Weirding takes it out. I didn't catch if that was top decked or not, but it was a good play by Iain regardless. So now Gerry's under some pressure, and do we think we're going to see him jamming that Fire Spout here? He's been pretty quick about his Fire Spouts, making sure to preserve his life total. Nope, against Aether Vial, he just wants to hold back, play a little differently.
Yeah. Is that a matron?
I believe so. That is Goblin Matron. It is the Portal version.
Yeah,
if I
I was
remember
going to say
correctly.
the artwork. I'm looking at the artwork and I'm like, that is not the Dieter Litzy artwork from Saga. That is the Portal, and also I believe it's the Anthologies artwork. Or not the Anthologies, the Elves versus Goblins artwork.
Yes, I also believe so. And so, Ringleader just came from Iain. I mean, for those who are just tuning in, we might be near the end of this match. I'm Gavin Verhey here with Joey Pasco. This is the finals of the Star City Games Open Series here in San Jose. We've got, on your right, Iain Bartholomei with his Goblins deck, looking in pretty good position against Gerry Thompson, who's on the left, counterbalance deck. I don't know. Gerry's got some gas, but this Ringleader is going to be a huge problem. Oh my, War Chief, War Chief,
whoa.
Matron. Oh,
Yeah. He's like, oh man, whiffed on that fourth one.
what a
That
rough,
is.
what a rough Ringleader.
That is some gas.
Didn't even have to pay for it. He just was like, all right, I'll take my Aether Vial up to 4. I've got another vial that can just sit on 2 anyway. And let's get all these goblins I can just cast this turn.
Oh my gosh, unbelievable.
Yeah, just shows you the power of the goblins deck. I mean, Iain has had 2 pretty awful draws the past 2 games and still squeaked one of them out. And this is what happens when the goblin deck draws well. Oh man. Okay. Well, there's a Rishan report.
Now, did you say you saw the Fire Spout in Gerry's hand?
I'm pretty confident he's got Fire Spout in his hand.
Okay. Is he going to be regretting that he didn't use it earlier?
Maybe. I mean, yes, it's right there. He also has, he's got 2 Fire Spouts. He's got a pair of Fire Spouts and a Swords. And Iain is obviously, not his first time to the Goblin Rodeo, Ringleader Rodeo. He's not just going to deploy everything onto the battlefield and just get Fire Spouted away. He's going to attack for a bunch. And if Gerry Fire Spouts here, he's perfectly content to just be like, all right, next turn, War Chief, War Chief. That Swords might buy Gerry a little bit of time in killing one of those War Chiefs, but yeah, I mean, he's got a Fire Spout here. So he Fire Spouts, plays the land. And that port can only lock down one of those lands. Oh, here comes something new. There's a Pile Driver. It's going to make those War Chiefs awfully threatening.
Yeah, Pile Driver off of the vial.
Oh, this could be it. He
which
takes
is of note, yeah.
He takes the vial up to 3.
Right, but just
And
to...
a Ringleader too. He drew Ringleader.
Oh my
Unbelievable.
gosh. Maybe, yeah, whiff.
He even just got a lackey, but all he needed there was really the 2/2 haste goblin. I mean, now he's gonna deploy some War Chiefs. And he has a matron too to follow everything up. Oh my goodness. Yep, here comes War Chief. Now all the goblins cost 1 less to play. He can definitely deploy quite a bit this turn.
Yeah, the relevant fact here is that they've both come off of the vial, so Iain can play those with no fear of them being countered.
Yeah, I mean, this could be it. Right here. I mean, and everything costs 1 less too, so you can play the other War Chief for 2 mana, and then tap 1, play another Goblin, but I think he might actually be 1 short if he paths that Pile Driver, because the Rishan Port doesn't tap for red mana.
It does not.
So he can't cast another Goblin off of it. And with the 1 mana taken out of Goblin Warchief, yeah, see, there he goes. He's just going to serve. And Pile Driver gets
Swords for the
Path,
Pile
or
Driver.
Swords, rather. And I'm so used to Path to Exile. Here we are.
Yeah.
And 4 damage to Gerry, cutting Jerry's life total in half. And now he's sitting on a very, very precarious 4 life. He's got a fetch land on the battlefield, so it's very nearly 3 life. And Iain knows, no reason to overextend here. He just ports down of Jerry's lands.
It's crazy. I feel like we, all those earlier games, we saw so many different cards from Gerry, and it's just like he's not seeing the diversity, not seeing the cards that he had in some of the earlier games. Where's Pithing Needle?
Right.
Where's
Like-
Pithing Needle for Vial? Where's, he does have the Fire Spout to kind of stall for a little bit, but it's not going to last much longer. There he goes with this second Fire Spout.
Right, so he's going to clear the board, but
Right, but I mean,
and he's got another Swords to follow it up, but there's still an issue.
the good thing is that Iain did use his Vials on his turn last turn, and so they were tapped. That's what I'm getting at
Right.
here. So he couldn't end step Vial out more creatures and just swing in.
Right.
But we know he has a handful of gas from the ringleaders.
And when we were talking to Adam Prozac and BD Wajaya earlier, they said that Aether Vial is just so crucial in this matchup and against Merfolk that they feel like they had to play Trinket Mage just so they could find their Pithing Needle to shut down those vials.
Yeah, and here you can see why that may have not been a bad line of thought.
So here comes a Goblin Warchief.
Goblin Warchief.
There are 3 cards left in Iain's hand, I believe.
Yeah, so the Vials, one's on 3, one's on 4?
Right.
Okay.
And the 4 is not going to do much, except
Right.
for the fact that
Ringleader.
when it is,
Yeah.
when it gets this Ringleader off of this Matron. Oh my. It's going to be rough times for Gerry.
And
Here
even
comes that
in
Ringleader.
there's the ringleader off of the Vial. He whiff, and
Got
another
a Matron. That's a good one to get.
Yeah, that's his 3rd ringleader though, or is that how many ringleaders?
Unclear. I believe that is his 3rd. He
Yeah,
probably has one
you
more
can see
left.
2. One on the top of his graveyard and 1 in play. And I'm pretty sure he cast another one earlier in the.
Right, to start the chain.
Yeah, exactly. That was the first one. That one was, I think, the biggest one. The first one he cast.
And there's Lackey. And this looks like lethal right here. I think that should be game. I think wow, he even has a Pyroblast in Iain's hand too.
We got a
Jerry's
plow.
like, all right, kill your Warchief. Okay, sure. So that
Yeah.
buys Gerry a little bit of time.
Right, because they don't have haste any longer.
Right. Still not a great position for Gerry, but
No, he's at 2 life.
he can try and brainstorm and do another Fire Spout here.
That's how you got to do it, though.
There's the Pithing Needle he needed so long ago.
Yeah, would have been instrumental in keeping this from getting to this point. I don't know that he has an option.
Just at the graveyard.
He knows that that Iain has another matron in
Yeah.
hand, right? And then
He's trying to figure out what he can get.
right, because he can just go matron for ringleader, both off the Vial. If he can't clear the board, if he can't clear the board, it's game over anyway.
It's lights out. It's KO. So he has to basically dig as far as he can with the top
Right.
and everything this turn.
Yeah, he cracks
Alright, so
a
he
fetch
cracks.
land to go to 1.
1 life.
1 life.
So he knows. I think his plan is he has to play the top, flip it, draw Fire Spout, play Pithing Needle on Aether Vial. That's his only out.
That's a heck of a
It's a hefty
series,
order.
but at 1 life, it would be so exciting if he could pull that off.
It wouldn't be the first time we've seen a top deck. Let's see what happens. This is shuffle. He's like, all right, Fire Spout to the top, Fire Spout to the top.
Okay.
Come on, Fire Spout.
Lightning Helix, come on, Get your Cruel Ultimatum.
Yeah, align your
set up,
align your mana
Gerry.
correctly. Although in this case, Gerry could align his mana so many different ways.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what we got. He's gonna play the top. He has the blind flip.
You are watching the Legacy Finals of the Star City Games San Jose Open Series.
Slides it into his hand.
I'm Joey Pasco with Gavin Verhey as Gerry Thompson scoops him up.
All
And
right.
we have a Legacy champion.
Yep, here it is. Iain Bartholomei, Legacy Open champion. Goblins 2 weeks in a row. Won the Open Series in Kansas City last week. won the Legacy Open here.
Yeah.
I think we've got a new deck to beat, folks. With Survival gone, Goblins has won 2 in a row now.
Yeah, and this there were 2 Goblins decks